Hello, everybody, and welcome back to NY Flight Jets Talk. The New York Jets are headed down to South Florida for a Week 3 matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We preview everything the Jets have to look forward to and maybe even against here on a Thursday, September 18th edition of the show. Let's hit it, get it rolling, and of course, let's talk Jets, baby. Woo!
This is NY Flight Jets Talk with Connor Long. NY Flight Jets Talk. We're talking Jets. NY Flight Jets Talk with special guests. NY Flight Jets Talk. Here's your host, Connor Long. Jets.
It's Josh Williver filling in for Connor Long for the second straight day on the program while Connor is out on his sleepaway overnight school vacation. But unlike yesterday, I did not have a friend from the Next Gen Jets crew bail on me from joining the show at the last second. Ladies and gentlemen, he's here. You know him, you love him from the Saturday evening shows. We say hello to Mr. Jack Carter.
I am Jack Carter, and I love the 2020 Jets. All I care about, the 2020 Jets. After that, don't matter. The 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, crazy. Jets will win 6 games no matter what. The ceiling is 7 games, but Chris says, what the fuck? Jimmy in the chat always talking crap, but it don't.
What an intro. I mean, Josh, what an intro. I mean, again,
intro.
I'm excited to be on here tonight. Let's talk some Jets after this disastrous Week 2 game against Buffalo.
Oh my goodness, and we haven't talked on air since then, but we sure as heck have talked offline about how awful it was. But
Absolutely.
obliterating to the team, to the fans' heart. Smash like and hit subscribe here if you're joining us. Thursday, September 18th. Truly helps Connor's channel go a long way. That's the free way. You want to get in on the membership raffle? The paid way to do so, like our friend Jake Asman did yesterday, is to gift a $2 super chat or send in a gifted membership. Each one of those hitting that criteria gives you a raffle entry. Ton of great prizes out there on the board for this beautiful month of September. So you have a Sauce Gardner signed jersey, Garrett Wilson helmet. I know he's doing a front page framed photo of the New York Daily News cover after the Jets won the Super Bowl. There's a Don Maynard signed jersey. Ton of great prizes up for grabs. So if you want to support Connor the paid way, that's the way to do so. But Jack, it was announced yesterday officially, Justin Fields is out going into concussion protocol. That means QB2 Tyrod Taylor will step up in his replacement. Just your initial thoughts here on the news, and did it surprise you at all?
To be honest, no, it didn't surprise me that much. And to be honest with you, if I had to be 100% honest with you, I'm kind of happy that they ruled him out for this game. Not because I want him to get benched. I really want him to be our starting quarterback. But concussions are serious, right? You don't want to rush this injury back, especially at the quarterback position where we have this whole offense built around Justin Fields. You don't want to risk losing your starting quarterback for a longer period of time when it's just when you have already this guy in a serious concussion, which is based off what we saw last week. It looks like his head hit the ground pretty hard after he got tackled there. So you got to take those head injuries seriously. So, and Tyrod, very great veteran. This O-line, I have enough confidence in them to block well for him, to hold the pocket stable for him. So I'm not mad about it at all. And I'm really excited to see what Tyrod Taylor can do for this team this week. I guarantee we're probably going to go to a more, instead of those Justin Fields fancy plays that we saw, especially in Week 1 with Pittsburgh, it's going to be a more modernized, I think it's going to be 50-50. It's not going to be as much running as we've seen the last couple of weeks. I think it's going to be split 50-50. We're going to get to see a lot of the receivers get their chances this week in Week 3. I think Garrett Wilson will have the most touches this week as he's had so far, or the most touches this week than he's had so far this year. So I'm really excited to see how Tyrod's passing game can go.
I think you put in a ton there that I want to sort of dissect here. We'll start with Tyrod Taylor, and I agree with you. Justin Fields obviously is this team's starting quarterback when healthy, but I saw the hit in person. It was a pretty gnarly one. He got hit on back-to-back plays there before exiting the game. So you want to take this as slow as possible. Make sure he is he is fully ready to go and fully healthy for the date he returns and not rush that back, because the worst thing you're looking at is this guy oh my goodness, suffers a second concussion in a row. That's a tongue twister there.
Yeah.
And is out for this season, and the rest of his NFL career is ruined. So again, no problem with the Jets taking it easy here. Hopefully you see Fields back on the field week 4 in Miami, and it's not going to be, a ton of traveling for the Jets. They stay down there in South Florida to play the Dolphins. So should be a pretty easy week in terms of rest and recovery on Justin Fields. You just hope he's back out on that field ASAP. And I agree with you that you want to keep him healthy at all costs. My question to you is that, to me, when I look at this, you played extremely well in week 1 if you're Justin Fields and the Jets offense, but the performance in week 2 was so disgraceful. You put up 3 points in your time there. The only touchdown in the game was Tyrod Taylor leading the team down the field in garbage time. And so you put up 3 points in week 2 after a stellar week 1 performance. Jack, does Tyrod Taylor coming in here give this Jets offense a jolt and just what they're looking for? Does a change of scenery at the quarterback spot kind of shift your perspective on this game down in Tampa?
I think that's interesting because I don't think that it's going to be, I don't think many fans, at least I'm not going to be seeing it as, oh, this is a change of scenery. Maybe this can be better for the offense.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of it more as we're going to see new things with the offense, right? I think, like I said, it's going to be a lot more passing than we've seen over the past couple of weeks. So I think it's going to be, I think the playbook's going to be very more broad this week than what it's been the past couple of weeks. So I think expect a lot of, I'm going to say for Tyrod Taylor, if I had to say this week, I'm going to say he's going to throw. If I had to guess, I think he's going to get in the end zone twice. I believe Tyrod Taylor has the chance to throw 2 touchdowns this week. So expect a lot of passing this week, but still maintaining that run game that as we've seen the past couple weeks. You got to use Breece Hall in this good offensive line that they've built up here for this 2025 Jets team, but expect a new look for this Jets offense and a broader playbook is really what I have to say.
100%. And I think you can rely on Tyrod Taylor to be that veteran passer. Aaron Glenn talked about it yesterday. He's seen every defensive concept there is. He knows how to handle those schemes in terms of reading the field with his eyes in the pocket. He knows how to, gather a group of guys and get them motivated to play well. The question is, does this offensive line hold up? It clearly didn't against Buffalo when there was a ton of pressure in Justin Fields' face, evidently led to him being hit enough times to be taken off the field, go into concussion protocol. But extremely interesting. I'm not quite sure as much as you are. I don't think I'm 100% sold on the train that Tanner Angstrand abandons the run-first offense and sort of shifts into a 50-50 split. But if he did, you're right. We've only seen true production from Breece Hall, from Garrett Wilson in the receiver room this year. Everyone else has been a ghost face. Frankly, it's not their fault. They just haven't been utilized well throughout these first 2 weeks. Is this the day where you see an Arian Smith? Does he even have a catch in the NFL? I'm not sure he does.
I don't think he does. No,
I don't think he does. He got
I think he only has one
like
touch.
An 8-yard loss on an end around, but that was considered a handoff. I don't even think the guy has an NFL catch yet. So maybe you look for Arian Smith to get involved in this offense, Jack. If it truly is a 50-50 split. Maybe you look for somebody else. I don't even know Alan Lazard's still on this team, but an Alan Lazard, a Josh Reynolds, Jack. You mentioned how you see a shift towards a more pass-heavy offense. Where do you see that stemming from?
I think I think it's going to be a lot more use of the other receivers, like you said there. Garrett Wilson's been our only receiver so far, so I think Josh Reynolds. If I had to say, Josh Reynolds is probably going to have a much a bigger spotlight than he's had the past couple of weeks. So I think it stems from just Tyrod not being a mobile quarterback as what he once was 8 years ago with the Buffalo Bills. I absolutely guarantee you, if it was 8 years ago and the Jets had him. If it was Tyrod Taylor from 2017, the Jets would still be running that run-first offense, right? There's no denying that. Taylor was probably one of the best rushing quarterbacks in the entire league during his time.
I still think he's got something in the tank. We saw him run a couple times on that last drive, but his legs are absolute glass at this point in his career. We've seen so many leg injuries within the past few years with Tyrod Taylor. Are you really willing to risk that when you really have no one else besides Brady Cook who can't play against against this? That's not gonna happen.
Buccaneers defense. You never know if you're gonna keep running with Tyrod Taylor, especially with his legs like glass, that you can never know. That can happen at any second. So that's why I think it stems all from Tyrod's health. I think is why we're gonna see this more passing game on Sunday, and expect to see a lot more receivers involved with the offense, such as Josh Reynolds. I think Reynolds will have a big game on Sunday.
Joey Matsek, one of our great chatters, giving us some information, fact-checking us. He actually does have one NFL reception for 8 yards this season. Appreciated.
I don't know that. Was that against Buffalo or Pittsburgh? Maybe I think.
I think it was against Buffalo. I don't remember him having any impact at all against Pittsburgh, but again, I'm not completely sure. Smash the like and then subscribe if you're just joining us. Get your questions, comments, thoughts in the chat. Super chats, those get read immediately here on screen. Anything else, we'll run through your question in a second. But Bill M, Chris B, Daniel Barry, appreciate all you guys. Joey Matisek, all of you guys in the chat will get to your questions, comments, thoughts in just a couple of minutes. You want to call into the show? The link, again, I'll try it once more, but YouTube and StreamYard don't exactly link up well. So the call-in link is in the description below this video, right below like and subscribe button. So on your way down there, call into the show. The link is in the comments again. It won't let me put it in the live chat for some reason. But Jack, I think one of the bigger headlines on this team, not in the passing game, has been the running game this entire year. And we mentioned how heavily the Jets have relied on that. Breece Hall put up a monster day in week 1, but it's also not his fault he didn't do so in week 2. Literally nothing went the Jets' way that week. And I don't mean in terms of luck. I mean in terms of anything. So can Breece Hall bounce back? Can this running back room bounce back? But more specifically, Jack, I think you and I both thought Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis would have a more expanded role
Absolutely.
coming into the season than what we've seen so far. Is this the week where the Jets mix it up, really give all three of these guys true touches? Because that's not what we've seen through the first week, despite what was thought, despite what Glenn preached all offseason.
Unfortunately, I want to think that, but again, I don't know if it's going to happen, especially like I said a few times, I think it's going to be more of a passing offense, but who knows? Isaiah Davis has shown in time that he can be a great receiving back for this Jets team last season in his rookie season. So I wouldn't be surprised if Davis gets in the mix at all, but I don't think it's to the caliber of where we think it's a RB1 and 2 punch with Braylon and then an RB2B. I don't really know what to call it. Like, I don't think it's gonna be what Aaron Glenn said it was gonna be, or a lot of fans thought it was gonna be with a 1-2 punch with Allen and Breece, and then Isaiah Davis just there. I think it's still gonna be Breece Hall getting predominantly all this, getting the predominant snaps at running back. I still think we're going to see some Braylon Allen. I think we're going to see the least of Isaiah Davis, but who knows? We can definitely, I can definitely see Isaiah Davis getting involved with the receiving game if he goes in. Yes.
Excuse me, 100%. I was muted there. Before we get into the injury report, all that, breaking down what the specifics of this Tampa team is, I think despite how bad the offense played in week 2, it's been the defense that's underwhelmed the both of us this season. The Jets hired a defensive-minded head coach in Aaron Glenn this offseason. They brought in a defensive coordinator in Steve Wilkes with over 20 years of NFL coaching experience. Jack, we thought this defense was going to be the leader of this squad, but giving up 64 points in the first 8 quarters of the season, not going to exactly do it for us. I have been extremely disappointed, as have you, as of the entire Jets fan base, in not only how this defense has played, but what the effort looks like. Brandon Stevens gave up on the James Cook rushing touchdown. It was clear and obvious. Michael Clemens with a crazy bad roughing the passer call. That can't happen. That extended the Bills' drive. That gave them points right there. And it wasn't even that. The penalties all over the secondary were ridiculous. Sauce Gardner couldn't keep up. He got flagged multiple times for holding in week 2 against the Bills. Could not keep up with their receiving core. It really didn't matter what was happening on the offensive end. The defense was never going to hold their part through week 2. How does this come around? How can the Jets fix this?
They just, again, here's the thing. Glenn's been preaching this his entire offseason, and that's discipline. I think discipline is the main issue with this defense. Michael Clemens, again, perfect example you gave there, Josh. Roughing a needless, or what's the word here I'm looking for? An unnecessary.
Completely unnecessary. But to be honest, I said this on yesterday's show. Like, I know a ton of Jets fans are critiquing him for that, or criticizing him rather. He was only like a step late to me. Again. But yeah, I know. To me, that's not a roughing the passer, but the NFL loves to protect their guys. So, of course, to them, anything to hit their
But
MVP
again,
is going to be
here's the
flagged
thing.
immediately.
It's not the only thing we've seen out of Clemens, though. It's not the only mistake we've seen out of him. And you
100%.
think that this Robert Saleh era Michael Clemens would be out the window by this time. But no, he's still here. Obviously, he's still here. I don't know why Aaron Glenn was so in love with him this training camp.
Nobody knows, Jack.
Nobody knows. Again, and the worst thing is I've seen multiple reports that due to Jermaine Johnson's health, Michael Clemens might get a lot of snaps this week against the Bucs, and that is something I am very, very concerned for. So you got to just nail the discipline down. I think like a lot. I think Jamie and Sherwood, as much as I love him, he hasn't really shown much this year.
Not at all.
Quincy by far has been our best linebacker. But the secondary, I think, is where it stems from the most. I think Brandon Stevens very has been absolutely awful this offseason. I think we paid him way too much based off of what we've seen so far. And don't be surprised, Josh, come week 5 or week 6, if Brandon Stevens still keeps playing like this, AZ could become the CB2 come week 6 or week 7. I could totally see that. I especially and again, with our safeties and Tony Adams, the guy can't tackle to save his life. I mean,
my God.
I haven't seen anything out of Tony Adams this year.
Secondary, to me, it's not even discipline. These are skill issues at this point.
Skill issues and discipline, yes.
Absolutely fried in week 1. Tony Adams, not much better. Missed tackles galore. Michael Carter II. Somebody needs to, he needs to rebrand his turf cleats. He's been slipping all over the place. Also missed tackles galore, busted coverage galore. The entire secondary has looked awful outside of Sauce Gardner in the week 1 game. So that is a problem in and of itself. Let's hear from you guys, though. Let's head over to the phone line for our first caller of the day. Nathan is on the show. What's going on, Nathan? How you doing?
What's up, Nathan? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
Pretty good.
I'm doing good. Thank you.
So I just wanted to bring up a couple things. First, you guys mentioned earlier in the show how you don't think Braylon is going to have as big of a role as people are hoping for this season. But I mean, I kind of disagree with that. I just think the situations in the first 2 games weren't really there for him. Week 1, Breece Hall had a great game. They didn't want to take the ball out of his hand. And then the game against the Bills, they were just so far behind, and they barely even had the ball that they didn't have enough time to, incorporate all their backs. So I think this is the week where Braylon Allen really shows who he is, and I think that's going to continue throughout the rest of the year.
Nathan, you bring up a couple good points there, but what I would say is, again, unless this is a close game, what's the point in bringing Braylon Allen into the game and giving him significant touches? That's not a guy that's going to explode for a long run or do as good of things as Breece Hall can do for you in the past game. So if this Jets team is down and trying to play catch-up, that's not what Braylon Allen does.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, it definitely would have to be a close game if he's going to be a featured guy in this. And then the other thing I wanted to mention, I mean, I know this is best case scenario, not very likely, but let's say the Jets go out into Tampa, they get the win. Tyrod Taylor plays a great game, throws for, I don't know, 250 yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. Then it comes to week 4, Monday Night Football against the Dolphins. Fields still has his concussion. What do you think the Jets do? Do you think that they say that Fields needs another week and they want to give do you think that he'll actually need it? Do you think that they could lie about that and say, oh, he's still in concussion protocol because they want to get Taylor another chance, even though, Fields isn't actually hurt? What do you think about that?
To be fair, I think Justin Fields, like I said a little earlier, those head injuries, especially with your starting quarterback, are probably the most serious injury you can have in any sport, really. So again, if you really want to prioritize and having your starting quarterback being really healthy, I think it's smart if Tyrod Taylor has a good game to keep him in against the Dolphins. And especially if Justin's not 100%, you need him at 100% to play the full season. You cannot have him out for any more games besides week 3 or week 4 if he's going to miss that. So again, I think expect if Tyrod plays a good game, even if Tyrod doesn't play a good game, I expect a big chance for him to play in week 4 just because of the fact that Justin's probably not even going to be 100%. But yeah, overall, I would say expect Tyrod Taylor to have a huge possibility to play in week 4 against Miami.
Justin Fields needs to be medically cleared before he can go out there. So that's going to be hard for the Jets to falsify. But I think what they can say is, look, Tyrod Taylor played extremely well last week. He won us a game on the road against a playoff team that we weren't expecting to. If Glenn's going to practice what he preaches, Tyrod Taylor should be the starting quarterback in week 4 against a extremely weak Dolphins team who likely drops to 0-3 this upcoming week. And to be honest, that's where I have the
Tonight,
Jets.
actually.
So I think what?
I think they play tonight, right, against Buffalo.
Yes,
actually.
against Buffalo. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I said. Chance to drop to 0-3 tonight. I think that if Tyrod Taylor beats Tampa Bay, and that's a big if, he's starting week 4. Nathan, any final thoughts before we let you go here?
No, yeah, I mean, I agree with you guys. I hope that Tyrod is the one to start week 4 if that happens. I'm just worried that Glenn is really stuck to his guy in Fields, and even if he's 90%, not 100% back, he's gonna want Fields out there no matter how Taylor plays, and I'm just worried that he's gonna push him back. But let's hope now. Let's hope Glenn makes the right decision, and let's just hope that they get a win in Tampa. So thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
No
Thanks for
problem,
the call, Nathan. Great call. What I would say is if Justin Fields is still, not that 100% spot, but Tyrod Taylor wins in Tampa Bay, Jack, we know there's going to be people making the argument, but we have to see
Absolutely.
what Fields can do this year. This is Fields' 1 year to prove me something as the Jets starting quarterback. This is his do or die season. So why not either watch Justin Fields, come back and lead this team to a positive record across a couple more games? Or if not, we'll draft our quarterback of the future in the first round. Jack, what would you say to that sort of logic of thinking to the people who would not want to start Tyrod if that were to happen in week 4?
It's a great mindset to have, but I don't think you have to also be realistic. Cue the clip. You gotta take a realistic.
Oh my God, he's clip farming. It's not even next gen Jets, but I'll do it.
You gotta look at a realistic approach here. You gotta look at a realistic approach here. You do. You gotta look at a realistic approach here. In this case, yes, you do. Because again, it's a great mindset to have. Everybody wants to think that. I even want to think that. But if Justin Fields is not 100%, how can he give you that? You got to look at a realistic approach here. If he isn't 100%, how can he give you that breakout season that everyone wants him to have? You have to have your starting quarterback, especially who's going to be going through a lot of contact this year if he's going to be running the ball. You have to have him 100% healthy and ready to go come at least week 5, I think, or at least week 4. You can't rush the injury, especially not a head injury. I've said it multiple times throughout the show. Again, great attitude, but you have to look at a realistic approach. That's what you have to do.
I suppose you do. And at the end of the day, I think the only argument I can make in my mind is that this Jets team wants to win football games no matter what it looks like, no matter if Justin Fields passes for 90 yards and the Jets run for another 300, no matter if it's Tyrod Taylor lobbing it up to wide receiver threes. At the end of the day, Aaron Glenn wants to win football games, and that's all that matters to him. Jack, something that's very interesting and that we will continue to monitor up throughout the week. Earlier today, the New York Jets released the official injury report for week 3 against Tampa, and then we'll also take a look, at a couple Tampa Bay inactives, but we'll start here with the Jets list that is pretty lengthy, I will admit. Let me zoom it in here. Is that better for you? Justin Fields, obviously, we know. Jermaine Johnson did not practice the entire week. Kene Nwangu continues to rehab. Same with Josh Reynolds. Jay Tufele is still sick, with an illness, which is extremely interesting. Like, he's had that illness for, 2-3 weeks
Could
now?
be mono, similar to Sam Darnold.
I suppose, yes, Tony Adams was injured. That's probably a phantom injury, although he didn't practice. McCrary Ball was limited. Cisco was full practice. Sauce was full practice. Kiko was full practice. Couple names here that look like they are, obviously, besides Justin Fields, are going to struggle seeing playing time this week. Jermaine Johnson, and that's certainly a concern coming off the season-ending injury last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, you do not want to see Michael Clemens playing these snaps on Sunday.
That's not even it to me, Jack. I don't want to see
I
Michael
think it's a
Clemens,
big
but I
factor.
want your franchise edge rusher
Of course you
to
do.
be
You know?
healthy and not get re-injured. Like at this point, I don't give a crap about Michael Clemens. I want
No,
Jermaine
of
Johnson
course they do.
to
I'm
have a
just
great
saying,
career.
if we want to win this football game, you cannot have Michael Clemens playing a lot of these snaps. But
Yeah.
again, great point, Josh. You have to have your star defensive end play all of mostly every single game this season, especially after getting that season-ending Achilles injury last year. And if this keeps happening, if he's injury prone throughout the season, I don't know if he's getting a second contract when the time comes. I don't know if he's, going to get extended when the time comes. I don't even think he's going to get a 5th-year option when the time comes, if this keeps
I
happening.
mean, I wouldn't go that far. We certainly have
If this
to
keeps
see
happening,
how
again,
the
if
season plays out. Yeah, of course. Like,
if this keeps happening, then
but
he's not
also
getting a 5th-year
AVT
option.
has been hurt. But then
They're
you
not
can
gonna give him
also
a
say,
5th
well,
year.
you get him on what? His contract's going to cost you a third of as much. So it's insane value if he can actually stay healthy for you. Bill M comes in with a chat time for Malachi Moore. That's what he said
Listen,
in relation to the Tony Adams injury here.
Listen, I'm excited to see him, right? Especially if Tony Adams can't tackle. We've seen how physical Malachi Moore can be on the field. So if we can get a guy that can actually play safety and that can actually tackle, maybe like a little smaller version of a Jamal Adams hybrid, maybe if we can implement him into, I think that would be absolutely incredible for the team. I think you got to get a guy who's able to play safety and who's able to tackle well. And if that's what Malachi Moore can do with the Jets, then I think he deserves that starting job over Tony Adams, regardless if Adams is hurt or not. Because Tony Adams, yes, he's had some good plays there. Yes, he's been a reliable safety for the Jets in terms of coverage over the past couple years.
Whoa! No,
I think he's been pretty reliable. Like 2023, I think he was pretty reliable that year.
I think he has been reliable, but he's shown me he's been god awful this year. Like I have no.
That's what I said this year. That's why I said
pulling
over
the
the past
plug
couple
on
of years.
Tony Adams this year for Malachi Moore. Get a young buck in there.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say the past couple of years he's been reliable, but Tony Adams has not shown me anything this year, especially within the tackling realm of things. If he cannot do that, Malachi Moore must fill that spot on defense. He must.
Absolutely. And Malachi Moore, a guy that can come in, give you physicality, especially when he comes into the box, be strong, aggressive downhill, attack the ball. And as much as the Jets did everything awful last week against Buffalo, tackling and coverage breakdowns were probably highlighting my list. Like when Josh Allen ran for 45 yards on that opening drive, and no one was in the East Rutherford zip code for the Jets. I mean, you could have put 3 guys out there on defense for that play, and I don't think the result would have been any different. It was ridiculous. Like these coverage breakdowns, I don't know about you, Jack, make me more mad than when Justin Fields makes stupid decisions, holds on to the ball for way too long, takes a strip sack, or when this team can't go for it on 4th and 2 when it's 20-3 and they decide to punt. Like there's so many bad decisions, but the coverage breakdowns they're oh my god, they're so fixable, and especially for a defensive coaching staff, I can't take them anymore, man.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's I think a lot of it's also just miscommunication on the defense as well.
Full secondary.
There's no communication within this secondary, and that's a huge factor. As a defensive player myself for high school football, you have to have communication. You have to have communication. It is essential. If you do not have communication on especially on the defensive side of the ball, you will not stop an offense no matter what. It doesn't matter how good your defense is. If you do not have communication, you will let up points. It may not even be a touchdown, but a field goal. At least points. You will give up points every single drive that you are on.
And
every single one.
Jeremy J, our Bills fan in the chat, brings up some sorrowful memories, but a good point at the same time. The James Cook run, yes, he's good, but an NFL team should never miss 5 or 6 tackles.
Absolutely. There is no excuse for that. No excuse.
Nail on the head, Jeremy. I mean, it seemed like everybody on the Jets thought everyone else was going to tackle the guy, and he was playing pinball machines, bouncing off tacklers left and right. It looked like, he covered himself in butter before the game. Ridiculous, man. And that to me, that wasn't like James Cook's great. That wasn't a great run to me. He ran right into the heart of the defense. Like the fact that he escaped that is just a testament to how bad the Jets are. I'll give him a little bit of credit.
I still think what? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, please.
I still think Cook is a good running back, but like you said, he ran right into the defense. The Jets defense is just so. I think it's again. You cannot miss 5 or 6 tackles in one play. That's just inexcusable. That he may be a good running back. That may have been an okay run, sure, but this defense cannot let this up, especially the secondary. The secondary has to. That's why they're called the secondary. If these guys, if the linebackers and the defensive line cannot get to them, that's why you have these guys. And what they have, let's see, they have Sauce, Brandon, Andre, Tony. Let's see, they have at least 4 guys.
First name basis with them.
Exactly. They have at least 4 guys in there to make a tackle, and not one of them could stop him. Not one.
Secondary is the last line of defense. If you're missing tackles there, it's a touchdown. So that's been the issue with the New York Jets. That's why they've given up 34 points through the first, excuse me, 64 points through the first 2 games. And Jack, I mean, I think you can agree that if Josh Allen's out there and he doesn't have a broken nose and this Bills team doesn't practically give up on offense with 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, it could be substantially more considering how bad the Jets defense was. But let's scroll down a little bit, take a look at Tampa Bay's injury report, because it is much shorter here. Former Jet Hassan Reddick, you can see, what'd you say there, Jack?
Emeka Egbuka, if he's out, that's a huge for the Jets.
That is, that's the one that highlights the list, because he was the only guy that did not practice the entire week these past 2 days with a hip lower leg injury. The groin was also involved there. He has been a stud his first 2 weeks of his NFL career, unlike Arian Smith. Obviously, I'm going to hold those 2 guys to a little bit of different standards, but Tampa Bay's injury list much shorter than the New York Jets, and Emeka Egbuka would be huge if he is out, especially with Chris Godwin, who's also there limited, who hasn't played this season.
Absolutely.
So you're talking about 2 of their top 3 wide receivers. That puts a ton of burden on Mike Evans, and this Jets secondary is not deep. If 2 wide receivers were out for Tampa Bay, you never root for injuries. But my goodness, what a difference maker that would be, Jack.
Absolutely, especially with the way this secondary has been miscommunicating this entire season and the way they've just been in complete shambles throughout the first 2 weeks. This would be huge to lose their wide receiver 2 and wide receiver 3 of the team. Again, you still have Mike Evans, but again, that's still two receivers off the board for the Jets. And again, I think that if that does happen, there is no excuse for the Jets to have a bad game in the secondary on Sunday. Absolutely no excuse. It's like they're giving you. It's like they're lifting weight off your shoulders.
I mean, I don't think I have the Steelers receiving core. That's at a DK.
Yeah. Calvin Austin, I can give it some credit for him. I think Calvin Austin's a good receiver, but I did not think he would have that caliber of a game against the Jets.
Egbuka, Chris Godwin Jr., not even close to me.
Of course, it's not close. I'm just saying I think Calvin Austin's better than what people say he is. But again, I didn't expect him to have that big of a game against the Jets. But regardless, you take off Emeka Egbuka, you take off Chris Godwin. There's no reason why the Jets shouldn't at least have a good. I'm not asking for an amazing. I'm not asking for a great game for the Jets secondary. There's no excuse why you don't even at least have a good game in the secondary. There's no excuse.
It has to be better than the last 2 weeks. There's no other way around it. Some other notable names: Pro Bowl tackle Tristan Wirfs, limited all week.
That would be huge.
Injury. And former Jet, I don't even want to say his name. Like I don't want to feed into this. The fact that this guy sat out for half of last year looking for a new contract, came back and then Jack got a half sack in 8 games.
Yeah,
ridiculous. That's the most Jet thing I ever heard.
It's awful. It was so bad.
Hassan Reddick, I actually hope he plays. I hope he just gets pancaked by Armand Membu.
Absolutely.
And sends a message to that Buccaneers team. My God, Hassan Reddick will always have I don't know what the word is, but a reverse soft spot in my heart, a hard spot in my heart.
Kind of like a Mekhi Becton. Do you feel the same way about Becton as Chris does?
No, I'm not that low on Mekhi Becton. Mekhi Becton never held out of this team. Mekhi Becton never quit on this team for money reasons. Mekhi Becton was injured, and this Jets team clearly didn't utilize him, right? You see that when he gets moved to guard for the Eagles and immediately makes a Pro Bowl level impact for them. So it was clear that the Jets had it all wrong. Their scouting had him as a tackle. Obviously, he's much better as a guard. That's where he naturally was for the Eagles, then got paid by the Chargers, I believe. It was this offseason. So that was clearly on the Jets coaching staff. Why would I be mad at him? Hassan Reddick, none of that was on the Jets coaching staff. He held out on his own and then played dog crap football when he actually put on the jersey.
Just should have never left Philadelphia in the first place. She should not have left Philadelphia. I mean, Hassan Reddick is one of those guys where demands money but can't show it on the field, especially now. I mean, maybe if we're talking 3 years ago, then maybe, but if you're
Right.
talking the last 2 years, then he can't beg for money and not produce anything on the field. And I'm actually glad that we never gave Hassan Reddick another contract.
I mean, yeah, you couldn't after the season he gave you. My goodness, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Everyone involved in the organization was excited to see him get out the door. Baker got a little banged up in that game against Houston, and then the Buccaneers' epic comeback to move to 2-0 on the season against I almost called them the Houston Rockets, against the Houston Texans, excuse me, the NFL team down there
Too much
um,
NBA with you,
on prime time.
Josh.
Well,
Too much
I
NBA and Brooklyn
yeah,
boys.
right. I mean, I host a Brooklyn Nets show and an NBA talk show almost daily, so that's what that'll do to you. I think I called them the Miami Heat or something yesterday, but I I'm all over the place, man. I was talking to you off air about it, Jack. I can't with this whole school stuff starting up again. It's been less than
Yeah.
tomorrow will officially end my second week of school. Felt like I've been in there for months, man. I can't do it anymore.
Been in there since the 25th, and it's almost, it hasn't even been a month yet. It feels like it's been like, I'm already counting down the days till winter break.
I know, right? Brutal. And then only there, you only get like what, 2 weeks off, and it's right back to
Not
chill
even me.
for
I get
the
one week and 2 days.
yeah,
That's
one
it.
and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
Just make it to Friday. Season is in full effect, baby. But we got
Yeah.
Friday coming up tomorrow. Baker Mayfield obviously banged up, as I alluded to, but he will certainly play. If there's one man in the National Football League that's going to play through a little bit of scratchy, it's
It's
your
Baker.
guy. It's your guy, Baker
Yeah.
Mayfield. So, not even a concussion to keep that guy off the field at that point. Smash the like
Just
and subscribe
headbutting helmets without even a helmet on. I guess.
if you haven't done so yet. Super chats, cut the line immediately, get read. We'll get to your questions, comments, thoughts that you can throw in the chat. If you want to call into the show, you can do that. It's in the description of this video. Again, can't get it in the live chat for some reason, but we've thrown it in the description for you. So on your way to hitting like and subscribe, supporting Connor's channel, you can call into the show with the link down there. And super chats, memberships, those cut the line. I think we had a membership question here. John, when is the raffle? John, well, you are a multi-time member as your name scrolls across there with 6 entries already. I'm not sure. I think it's Monday is what Connor said after the Tampa Bay game. So Jets might be 0-3 when you're gunning for a Sauce Gardner jersey, John, as unfortunate as it is. But any $2 super chat, gifted membership, you guys know the rules. That cuts the line for you. We'll get into your questions, comments, and thoughts. Starting up saying hello to everyone. David Barry, happy Thursday, everyone. Appreciate you tuning in. Bill M is hoping for an Arian on leash on Sunday. Let's see here. Good chat here from Italian Eddie Ralph. Jermaine Johnson could be the AVT of our defense. Hopefully not.
That's not the path anyone wants to go for him to go down. Nobody wants him to go down.
Right, but it's just these continuous injuries that continue to plague the Jets. The same guys, not night in and night out, but season in and season out. Absolutely sucks. Nathan, who just called into the show, is back to chatting it up. What are both your keys to the games? For me, it's defense on Emeka Ibuka. If he plays, that's a big if there. He didn't practice all week. Whether it's Stevens or Carter, we need to hold him in check with Sauce locking down Evans, hopefully. I have no confidence in Brandon Stevens. Michael Carter, man, that one's continued to confuse me because I had him as the underrated MVP of the Jets defense heading into the season. And boy, has he shocked me in all the wrong ways. But Nathan makes a couple good points here.
I think if I had to make a couple keys to the game, I think I have two main ones. One, it's adaptation. You have to adapt, especially with the loss of Justin Fields this week. And two, communication. I think communication, like I've said earlier in the stream, is the key for a defense's success. I think the Jets need to be, especially the secondary, needs to be they need to have much better communication. And I think that is probably my biggest key of the game, especially going against a high caliber offense such as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You need to have better communication. And if that happens with the potential this Jets defense it has, and we've seen it time and time again, with the potential this Jets defense has, if they just have great communication and better just overall skill playing this week, they will have a great game. I guarantee you. Guarantee it.
Any handful of players you're looking out for that are under the radar? Obviously, I'm not looking for Tyrod Taylor, but maybe a under the radar guy, someone who can make a big impact.
Are we talking just from the defense or anybody?
Oh no, overall as a team.
I think if I had to be honest with you, I think this is Mason Taylor's chance to really have his good first game in the NFL. I think Taylor, and especially like I said, if the passing game is going to be more in effect this week, I want to see something out of Mason Taylor. And we've seen nothing but Jeremy Rucker basically the first 2 weeks, and I'll give credit where it's due. Rucker's definitely had a tolerable first 2 weeks. I'm not saying it's not looking like the worst tight end in Jets history right now. He's definitely had a tolerable first 2 weeks, but I would love to see more out of Mason Taylor this week. If they were so confident to draft a tight end over, especially him over Harold Fannin, if they were so confident in that, and even over a receiver who was the guy? It was Trey Harris.
Trey Harris.
Yeah, if they were so confident in drafting him, why not use him now? In a time where Justin Fields is out and Tyrod's in, you got to use your rookie tight end. You have to. I think Mason Taylor needs to have a big game this week.
Great point. For me, the underrated guy is going to be Juwan Briggs on this defensive line. You traded for him just a couple of days before the season actually started, and Harrison Phillips has came in here, been the defensive, the other front tech alongside Quinnen, but Juwan Briggs has showed a ton in the limited time he's seen on the field. So
he was awesome last week.
Run stuffing, getting in the backfield, he was awesome
all over Josh Allen as well. I mean,
100%.
All of the lows that we had defensively, I think Briggs was probably our best highlight, I would say, last week defensively. Yep. And it's so weird because I didn't see him making a huge impact at all this season. And what we saw out of him in week 2, especially against a high caliber offense such as the Buffalo Bills, I want to see him play more. And I want to see him play more on the field. I would if he can repeat what he did last week against Buffalo, I think he's in for a big treat this year.
Absolutely. I think he can make an impact. As for keys to the game, I would just say keep the ball moving on offense. Like, that's what you did in week 1 against the Steelers. That's what made you effective. For the offense under Tyrod Taylor, it's just about effectiveness. Get the ball out, keep it moving. Run the ball, keep it moving. Pick up a first down, let's go, keep it moving. That's not what it was in week 2 against the Bills when the whole system was 3-and-out punt, 3rd and 19, you already know, fumble, strip sack.
Terrible.
Justin Fields can cost, they didn't have any momentum. They didn't have any mojo is the way I would describe it. They didn't have any pace to go with the offense. Maybe Tyrod Taylor can run an effective hurry up, but Jets need to keep the ball moving offensively.
Absolutely. I mean, this can't happen every single week. If the Jets can get back to what they did against Pittsburgh in week 1, I will get my confidence in this offense back. But if you can't come up big in big games such as the Bills, you can't expect to win 8 or 9 games this season. I'm sorry, you can't. If the Jets keep playing like they did in week 2, I could see a record as low as 5-12. If I had to be honest with you.
6-win team in my eyes. Nothing's changed so far through 2 weeks approaching.
I still think they're a 7-win caliber team right now, but if the performance like that against Buffalo continues, that's going to go down to a 5-win team, possibly, maybe even a 4-win team if we keep seeing things like this. This cannot happen again. It can't.
I don't think they play that bad. Like, that's just a Super Bowl contending team to me right there. And I said this to someone before the Bills week. Name one category where the Jets outpaced the Bills heading into the game. No. And we could not collectively come up with one. And that was before the game. So people that were talking about, the Jets are going to upset the Bills. And obviously that was Chris Grasso. We know his attitude going into the game. It was just a bit like, it was a gripe to me. Like the Bills are just an all-around better
nothing but
team.
optimism.
But I don't think anybody expected it to be 30-3. Evidently, I mean, the last touchdown.
No way.
Was really just meaningless. I
thought it would be like 23-17. I thought it would be like a close, hard-fought game. I didn't think. I still thought we were going to lose. I didn't think we were going to get obliterated.
I thought it was either going to be and I said this, I'm on record saying this before the game. I either thought it was going to be the Jets by a field goal at the last second and they pull it off miraculously in a game they shouldn't have won, or the Bills by 2 touchdowns. But I didn't think it was going to be the Bills by 27 freaking points, and that's what's so annoying. The Jets were out of the game. The most exciting part of that damn game was Joe Klecko leading the Jet chant. And by the way, we didn't get another one. And Jack, you're up to speed on this one from the Next Gen Jets group chat. But they only do the Jet chant after touchdown, so we didn't get it after the original field goal. And then by the time they scored the touchdown with 2 minutes to play in the game,
there was no one there.
was so empty. I was one of, 130 people in the stadium that were wearing Jet colors because everybody had freaking left. So I had to send you guys a video, and I wish I had it to play on this stream right now, but I haven't uploaded it. I had to send you guys a video of me solo doloing the New York Jets chant at a freaking Jet stadium after they scored a touchdown. I didn't think it was going to be 30-3 at that point, but my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, DNY for life has brightened up the mood.
Oh yeah,
with a 5-spot of channel memberships given back to the community, baby.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
And now for our friend Chris Grasso, who decides to bail on me at the last minute. He's got a little message for you.
My name is Chris Grasso and I love the Jets more than everyone else. I am a highlight warrior. Aaron Glenn is the best coach they could have. Hired, but under 4 games won and he must be fired. I love every 2026 QB just based on highlights. I have watched 5 minutes of Nico's highlights and he is a Hall of Fame. Arm strength is all that matters. This isn't the same old Jets. THE 2025 Jets are different. Justin Fields is the franchise guy, or Nico will be drafted in 26. Highlights are all that matter.
If Nico's the guy come next year, then I don't really know what to say, to be honest.
He has had an awful start to his UCLA career, but you know what? I played this yesterday when Jake gifted a 5 spot. Connor's reaction to the Mekhi Becton pick was our honest reaction to win.
They go on a run. Will they go here with the
Here we go!
With the 11th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Mekhi Becton.
No!
Even young Connor knew that was a bad idea at the time. I'm not sure. I didn't get any instructions.
Everybody wanted CeeDee Lamb.
I'm not sure that's off limits at all or something, but maybe he doesn't like that from me. But what I can say, Jack, sing it for us.
Here comes the money.
I'm not singing. Maybe you got Shane McMahon in here, then maybe he would sing that.
Thank you, Devin DNY for life. Let me get you updated here in the raffle ticket. The GOAT, one of this channel's best. On behalf of Connor Long, I say thank you for your appreciation of the show, for your continued support, and for your gifted membership contribution with a 5 spot. Before that, though, we back up a little bit. We go to Pat Marinello. Chris is the Italian. He'd tell me how to say this, but Marinello is how I'm saying it. Marinello. Pat, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. He says, why aren't the Jets bringing up Pritchett, Quinn, and Skinner? And my guy Brandon Smith hasn't dropped the ball from 3 years ago since he's been on the practice squad to present that even once. I mean, yeah, Pritchett for the returns, but this this team can't pass the ball to the wide receiver too. So I don't understand bringing him up to play wide receiver.
I would love to see Quentin Skinner, though, get some reps in the games. I think Skinner really showed me a lot during training camp and throughout the preseason. If Justin Fields or Tyrod Taylor can unleash this ball down to besides Garrett Wilson, and I would love to see a contested catch guy like Quentin Skinner. I think out of those 3 receivers, I like Skinner the best.
Absolutely. I'm updating Connor's membership ticket raffle here. Let's see. I think that was DNY for Life's first membership contribution of the September month. So we got to get a new name in there.
Maybe.
That should be updated, baby. But yeah, again, I don't really see what the point of bringing up any of those guys is. Pat comes back and says, well, I said that because after G5, we have 5 wide receiver 4s or wide receiver 5s That's it. Maybe they can play better. Oh, yeah, I forget Arian Smith is better than him. I mean, look, I'm all for bringing these guys up, but if you're on the practice squad, you only get 3 elevations per year before you have to actually be able to be elevated onto the actual 53. So you only get 3 elevations from practice squad on game day up. I'm not wasting those in week 3 in a game that, I'm only planning to hit my trusted guys in. Maybe against like the Saints or something. I don't know.
I mean, again, I wouldn't be totally opposed to it. Again, if we're just going to be running more of a passing style offense, and if we're going to target guys more than Garrett Wilson, Josh Reynolds, I mean, I guess he's reliable. Alan Lazard, where's he been all season? Arian Smith, not really too confident. But guys like Quentin Skinner, again, we haven't seen him play against a very good defense with the caliber of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But what's there to lose? He has nothing to lose, right? He has absolutely nothing to lose. So if you bring him up for week 3 or week 4 with Tyrod playing, I think that'd be a huge move for the Jets, honestly, and I would not be opposed to it one bit.
Real quick, Jeremy says off topic, you guys Yankees or Mets fan? I'm a Yankees fan, Jack. You don't watch that much baseball, do you? Are you going to get your Yankees memorabilia? I don't even know what he's about to bring back.
I think I got to go get something real quick, but I'll be right back. And it'll be a part of this topic real quick.
Okay, I don't know what he's about to bring back. I haven't seen this. All I've seen is Jack Cotter's background filled with Jets gear and his Newtown High School jersey. He's back, folks. What is it? New York Mets. There we go. There's the reveal. I mean, I could certainly come back with some. You want to hold down the fort, Jack?
Mets guy all the way.
We'll start up there, but start up there, and then above my head, here's the Aaron Judge El Capitan pennant. One of the greats, better win his 3rd MVP. If you think Cal Raleigh
go
is
Mets,
better.
go Mets.
Chips, but Jack, hold down the fort. We will be back.
I will. Jeez, Josh being a Yankees fan, come on. Picks the right football team in terms of the Jets, but really has to go to the Yankees because isn't it usually Jets, Mets? In my eyes, it's Jets, Mets, Rangers, Knicks. I think that's how it goes. A lot of people say it's Jets, Mets, Islanders, Knicks, or Jets, Mets, Islanders, Nets. I don't see it that way. For me, it's Jets, Mets, Rangers, Knicks. I don't see anything else. I think it's Giants, Yankees, Islanders, Nets.
Oh, so you're a person who's only does the little classical things. That's you?
What? Yeah, what?
Oh, I hate those people. The people that think you can only be one of the 4 groups.
No. Here's the thing. I just think in general, it's mostly mostly Jet fans.
You pair up with a group of that, but
no, I think most Jet fans are Met fans, Rangers fans, and Knicks fans, and I think most Giant fans are Yankees fans. No.
Most Giants fans are Rangers, Knicks, and Yankee fans.
I've met more Jet fans that are Rangers fans than Yankee fans, than Giant fans, to be honest with you.
Well,
but most of my Giants fans
Rangers
actually
and the Giants don't
Islanders.
play in the same sport, so it's different. You also live in Connecticut, so you don't get a fair say.
What do you mean I don't get a fair say? Half of Connecticut is split into 3 teams.
You live in Patriots country, Jack.
By the way, right? Connecticut is split into 3
Rubino has some common sense. He agrees with me.
No, listen.
Here's my Yankees.
Connecticut is split into 3 teams. You have the Jets, the Giants, and the Patriots.
Classic Yankees.
The Jets and the Giants are near the New York border area. Patriots fans mostly migrate near the border of Massachusetts. That's kind of how it goes.
New York or nowhere.
So,
and then
I still get a say.
Garrett Cole jersey. Gotta love it, baby. But we'll begin to wrap up here on the show. Appreciate you all tuning in, no matter what your sports fan alignments are. You guys are the best. Appreciate you. Special shout out to D4NY for life. Entering our membership raffle, Jack, pick a number 1 through 3.
Let's go 2. Right dab in the middle. Yep.
All right, perfect. Let's hit me.
Yo, my name is Josh, whoever, and I love the Gamecocks. SC football in the game, green winning 1 weekend. There's nothing better. The Jets should have drafted Emma Worry in 25. Now they better take Sellers in 26. Jack always talking about touching the MetLife turf, but has he even done so yet? I am new to the Sunday show, but I am more than ready. Yes, Jimmy, I see yo.
Beautifully done. That's a smart kid, right? Anyways,
Josh.
You guys are the best. All I can say, even though I think the Jets are going to get blown out,
Can't wait.
can't wait.
That's
for
the
week
curse.
3,
That's
baby.
the suffering. You can't. It's like a toxic relationship. You can't stand it, but you kind of feel like you have to.
Let's see if Aaron Glenn can hold true to
Here's what I
this.
do know. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Because he hasn't been able to
Yeah.
so far throughout his Jets head coach tenure.
no.
We talked about everything approaching the Jets meeting with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers down in week 3. And we went over the injury report, took a call, took your questions, comments, thoughts. Appreciate you all tuning in on an NY Flight Jets Talk edition Thursday, September 18th. Connor will be back from the sleepaway field trip tomorrow night to be with you guys. Jack from Jack Talks Jets, plug the channel. Appreciate you joining me as we fill in for Connor here on this beautiful evening. Thanks for coming on. Have a great night, my friend.
Absolutely, Josh. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, you guys can all find me at Jack Talks Jets on YouTube. Just released a new video a couple days ago on the recap of the Buff game, and I'm releasing a Bucks preview game sometime within the next day or so. So yeah, go subscribe to the channel if you guys want to. Road to 350 subscribers. And Josh, go subscribe to Josh's Brooklyn Boys Show. Puts a lot of effort into that almost every single day. And again, Josh, thanks so much for having me on tonight.
Absolutely, Jack. Was my pleasure. You heard it from the man himself. Subscribe to the Brooklyn Boys Show if you haven't done so yet. Daily Brooklyn Nets content, whether you're a Nets fan, Knicks fan, NBA fan, or just a sports fan, or not even at all, which I'm not quite sure why you'd be watching the show, but if you want to, subscribe to the channel because it really does help. We are on a road to 500 subscribers, only about 40 away, completely free, and it helps us grow way more than you could ever think. Subscribe to Jack. Subscribe to me. I'm Josh Wooliver. That's Jack Connor filling in for Connor Long on NY Flight Jets Talk. You guys are the best. We'll catch you on the next one. JETS. Jets.
Jets.
Jets.
Jets.
Jets.
Jets.
Let's go, baby.